Welcome to Slash Forward. In this episode, we're going to review the horror box set film Bloodlust. If you've ever been morbidly curious about the intricacies of human taxidermy, you should subscribe to the channel. Let's get to it. We open on a sporting yacht where the occupants are engaged in skeeting and fishing, and the captain is deep in the bottle. Betty asks Johnny if she can get her finger on that trigger, but he has other ideas, and his amorous ploy gets him judoed in a manner embarrassing to his masculinity. They're then distracted by a mysterious island and decide to commandeer the dinghy to go exploring. The sound of the engines drowns out Captain Tony's feeble attempts to warn them away. On shore, they decide to play pirates and run off to a nearby treasure trove composed of some fantastic detritus. In celebration, they plan a native clam bake and head into the jungle in search of banana leaves. But old soft-headed Johnny falls into a tiger pit and is rendered unconscious by the slightest bump to the noggin. Luckily, help finds them. Mr. Balleau welcomes them to his jungle estate, explaining that he moved there after the war for peace and quiet and to satiate his lust for big game hunting. He convinces them the jungle is too dangerous at night, so they must stay there, and in defiance of their protestations, he has his wife Sandra escort them to their rooms. Later, we see Sandra and Dean, another guest of the island, involved in a salacious affair, and here they're plotting an escape from the island, which is actually their prison. When Mr. Balleau busts in on them, Dean has to hurriedly cover his erection to avoid suspicion, and it seems to work as he's sent back to his room without reprimand. Meanwhile, our main group decides to find out what's what with this place and split off to explore. Johnny and Betty make it about 5 feet before being forced back into their room, where Dean offers the lowdown on the island. Pete and Jeannie make their way to a sub-basement, which contains a room with an aquarium for people, and they try not to scream as an employee partakes in some taxidermy, stuffing heads and slapping guts around. They arrive back at their room in time to confirm the incredible story Sandra and Dean just finished telling the others. They learn that Dean's been planning an escape for a year, and now's the time to do some prep work because Mr. Balleau is in the jungle hunting. Dean's plan is to swim for a captive boat moored off the shore in an alcove. The others have to then cover for him as he gets away so he can return with help. The couple then dons their bathing suits to make a go of it, but apparently weren't subtle enough. When we see Betty and Johnny again, it's been 2 days with no word from Dean. They decide to get their own answers, proceeding through a secret door where they're immediately greeted by Mr. Balleau, who eagerly shows off his trophies while explaining he had to find a way to satiate his escalating bloodlust after the war, graduating from animals to people. But don't worry, these victims are all ne'er-do-wells, which include those who betray his trust. After showing them he has room for more, he sends them out, later meeting them to propose they play a game of death. And Pete is incredulous.
Take it easy, Johnny. He must be kidding. I mean, there must be an explanation for all of this, isn't there?
Even though you saw the bodies, this is a game for men. The ladies will be held back to help him populate the island and fulfill his manly needs. Mr. Balleau will pursue them with arrows, and they get a gun with ammo hidden at a fixed point in the jungle, demonstrating he's quite the sportsman. Captain Tony and the boys find the ammo quickly, but there's only one bullet. Tony then decides to go it alone while the others circle back to the house to get the girls. But the girls are the engineers of their own escape, playing dumb about breaking a vase, which gives Shalimar a bout of deep belly laughter. But the joke's on him as this was just a ruse to hide the sound of them breaking the window. While out in the jungle, Mr. Balleau and his trusty aide Shandor are gaining on Tony, who's never felt more alive. Brawny shoulders glistening under the light of the harvest moon, he doubles back and takes his shot, but learns that he was supplied with a gun and ammo. But no one ever said it would have a firing pin, and you can't be mad for not getting what you didn't ask for. Tony begs for his life, making impossible promises.
I'll never make a mistake again.
Mr. Balleau reconsiders, but only momentarily before reconsidering yet again, as surprise and betrayal sweeten the taste of murder. Back at the house, the girls continue escaping, hoping to find a weapon in the taxidermy room. When confronted, Betty is forced to judo flip a henchman into an acid trough. They then run out where Jeannie turns her ankle, requiring Betty to Mr. Miyagi her back to health. Balleau picks up the trail, taking a moment to delight in the slow and miserable death of his loyal trail boy, Shandor. Our gang then meets up and takes to the trees, avoiding detection. New plan is to go back to the house to get some guns. And they manage to break into the cabinet but are forced to hide before they can acquire the ammo. Mr. Balleau, bored with the hunt, retires to his office where he notices the intrusion. He finds them lurking in the dark and takes advantage of the opportunity to test out some poses for after they're dead. But right when they're all kind of getting into it, they're interrupted by Shandor, upset about the quicksand and leeches. He lunges at Mr. Balleau, taking shots like a champ, and then hugging his master deeply before gently hanging him up on the rack, where they all stand around and watch him as he bleeds out. This was another pleasant surprise, and with a runtime of just over an hour, it's a quick watch. It also had more gore and horror elements than what I would have expected from a film of this time period. If you enjoyed the video, I'd love for you to become a part of the channel by subscribing. Thanks for watching.